I thought for a day like today, I made myself boba, at-home boba, because I wanted to talk about something that has to do with boba a little bit. Particularly something that has to do with me, my journey on these social media platforms, where it started, how far I've come. And that all starts with a particular video on TikTok of mine that I posted 2 years ago. First drink of the day, baby. We got some jasmine green milk, see? You, darling. It is a video that has brought so much happiness into my life, but at the same time did bring a lot of sadness and not so great moments. I might say more so than the happy moments. But it's been 2 years now since then. A lot has happened growing as a person, the man I am today. And I wanted to share my thoughts on my journey so far and my thoughts looking back. This is a video that I've wanted to make for the longest time. I just felt like I needed to heal before I talked about it, because even right now I'm not done healing from that video. As silly as it sounds, it's something that, like, you know, it runs deep and is a part of my story. But before that, let's make some boba. And here we go, baby. Some homemade boba. This one's to you. That's an interesting flavor. It's not as good as like what you would find at a boba shop, but I think if you had other ingredients at home, you could probably spice this up a bit. Okay. I got my first drink of the day here. A little introduction of me to anyone out there. My name is Stephen Vo. I'm a Vietnamese Asian American. I live here in sunny side Southern California. I'm currently 27 years old, and I'm a full-time content creator. I've been making videos for 10 plus years. I only recently got my big break online, and it all started 2 years ago on a little platform, a little indie platform you might have heard of, called TikTok. It was during 2021. That was around the time when I was feeling a little lost in my life. I was working normal 9 to 5s, still on the side. Whenever I would get home, I would always just be recording vlogs, talking to myself, you know, just acting like I was talking to like an audience of 100 people. I had a YouTube channel, which is this channel. I was always making videos as long as I can remember. When I was in junior high, making little skits, making vlogs, posting it on YouTube. I don't have that. I wish I had that footage still, but I don't have it anymore. I've been doing it so much so, chasing after it for so long, that a lot of people in my life always wondered, what is he up to? What is he doing? You know, why is he wasting his time? I remember I had an ex who, we were talking about our goals and dreams. We were on the phone talking, and she asked me, like, you know, what is it that you want to do one day? What is your dreams? What are your goals? And I, without a second thought, I was just like, you know what, I would like to do this YouTube thing, grow a big audience on some sort of platform, and use that to, I don't know, do something great, get artsy, get creative. And I just remember hearing her like silence and tell me that, like, you know, like, that's not a real dream. You know, you wanna make videos for like 10 people for the rest of your life, you know, for 10 viewers. And I'm just, that was the first time in my life when I thought that, like, damn, this is what it feels like when someone in your life who so supposedly cares about you, who's supposed to care about you, does not believe in you, you know? And that made me feel very like, you know, damn, okay, so I really am in this alone. And it's always been like that. I've always been the type to believe in my own vision. Like, I'm a big believer in no one, not even the closest people in your life who love and care about you. No one will understand your dreams and goals and vision as much as you do. And it's always gonna be on you to believe in yourself and push yourself and hang in there, especially during moments when people doubt you. That's a little backstory on me. Now, 2021 comes around, and then I found out about this little site called TikTok. I was so reluctant to do anything like TikTok. Like I said, I don't like being trendy. And at the time, I think TikTok was, in my eyes, was very much like, I feel like it spoke to like a different, younger audience than what I was looking for. I'm a YouTube boy. I grew up on YouTube. I grew up in long format, you know, so short format was something like, you know, I'm like, I guess, you know what I mean? I was really feeling myself too at the time, so I was looking my best that I've ever looked in my life. I was so confident, I had so much to say, I had so much energy. And so going into TikTok at the time was very, very much easy for me. It was just like, you know what, I've always been doing this. If no one watches, that's totally okay. I'm always just gonna do my thing. I'm always gonna do Steven, you know? It didn't pick up right away, but looking back at it, it did pick up a lot faster than I would think. At the time, I was uploading like the same shit I was uploading for years. I was just like, either it was thirst traps, either it was vlogs, either it was like just Big Brother advice, or just being like good ass vibes. I was doing like what I've always been doing these past couple of years when I was just talking to like 10 people. And now all of a sudden there was like 100, 200 people, up to 1,000. As I kept growing, I was very of the mindset that I'm able to build something here. It's not just like a couple thousand followers. No, this was like up there to like 20, 30,000. I was 25 years old at the time. I bring up my age because that is also very important. I feel like if I was any younger, even at 24, I would have let it get to my head. It's something that I take note of and I'm very proud of. In my career is that like it really kind of helped with what was yet to come. And what did come was one day I was out with my mom and we were just, you know, vibing and I was feeling myself. I was dressed up nice. We got some boba like we do. I thought to myself, you know what? You know, I'm feeling so good right now. I'm gonna record a quick little stupid video. Put up the camera and like wish everyone like a lovely day with my boba drink that I have in my hand. Just set the camera up on my car, in the back of my car. I walked into frame. I'm like, first drink of the day, baby. This one's to you, darling. My description for that video, I put like, you know, wishing y'all good health and happiness. And it all came from like a really good place, like a genuine, loving place, because that's who I am. That's all I got. I've always seen myself as very unproblematic. So much so that like sometimes my friends are like, where is Steven? But I'm just always just doing my own thing and just I don't worry about other people's lives in that sort of matter where I have to prove something. No, I've always just been doing my own thing. And at the time when my career was blowing up on these platforms, I had so much love in me that I just like, you know what, like I just want to be a positive note to people. So, you know, I made that video. Before I knew it, like a couple hours later, it was trending. It kept blowing up and up and up and up. And I did my best to pay it no mind because, again, I was very happy that I was the age I was because I didn't let it go to my head. And then after like a couple of days, you know, the video kind of just got out of control. It blew up to the point where like on normal people's FYPs, you know, people who have never seen me before for no reason, who probably don't even like know what boba is, was getting this video of this guy just like, first drink of the day, baby. I remember seeing and reading comments from people saying like, you keep popping up on my feed, because like after that video popped up, all my other videos started popping up on other people's feeds. Felt very, I don't know why at the time I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't control this shit, you know, like I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's happening, you know? It got to the point where I'm like, I kind of wish this would stop. I felt like I was annoying people, but it was out of my control. And obviously I've made a lot of videos during that time that kind of like did very well too and catered their own following, you know? I've always seen that people kind of find me through different avenues because I do so much. But this video I wanted to pay more attention to and will always be a pivotal moment in my career and in my life because of the impact it had on me mentally. During that whole month, I would go on my FYP. Every other video, you know, would be someone kind of stitching and reacting to my video. A lot of the reactions were not so nice. They were really negative. There's a couple that I'll always remember till this day. There was one I remember, there was like this young guy. He was Asian. And he's sitting in his car with like some boba. And then he titled the video like, you know, like Thongkwak's friends whenever he talks or something like that. And then all of a sudden, like, he would just start getting like slapped and hit from like left and right, you know? And I just remember watching that, and I just like, I froze. I'm like, oh, it really hurt. And I was just like, damn, okay. And then there was another video. There was this young girl who was, I think she reacted to one of my videos like a little bit after the Boba one, and was just like, this guy needs to like stop posting, and he needs to get canceled. I will happily die for this to happen. And then I just started seeing comments, like replies on her video saying like, you know, oh, finally someone said it, you know, like, I agree. And then the comments on the actual video itself, you know, like, in the beginning it was nice. People were just like, oh, what a vibe, you know, and people really enjoyed my voice too, you know. People for some reason thought that I sounded British. In that video, like, I was just vibing, and I was just feeling, I'm just like, first string of the day, baby. You know, like, I'm just like talking to my normal tone, like a calm tone, and then I had boba in my mouth, so like, I guess when I was like, to you, darling, I was like, to you, darling. Did not have any intention to sound British. And people like really enjoyed my voice and also thought I was faking my voice. But like, you know, my voice is my voice. I never once tried to make my voice any other way. I just kind of go by what I'm feeling, by my emotions. When I see my friends, I always am just so happy, and I'm just like, ah, you know, like my voice goes high when I'm calm, making a YouTube video, and I just want to like really focus on my words, and I have time to focus on my words. I talk very just like this. That was something that people kind of like took note of, and a lot of people like thought I was very, very fake and very like, you know, like there's something off about him. People took my 15-second video of me just vibing, wishing everyone a lovely day with one of my favorite drinks, and they started digging. People would comment, people would DM me, you're so cringe, you're like, he probably hates women from like a 15-second video, you got that? And I remember during that whole couple of months of when this shit was blowing up, I got so scared to go on my FYP. I had to take a step back. I was so scared, and I never once said anything back. I never once defended myself. I never once, you know, posted like, hey guys, like, not that I needed to be sorry, but I don't know, I just feel like people were waiting for like a reaction out of me. That kind of fucked me up mentally. I started kind of like losing my shine over time. The energy I had in the beginning was slowly fading. The things that I wanted to say were slowly fading. I've always did my best during that time to be like, be positive, and to really just show up to myself, show up and being like, you know what, this is who you are, love yourself, never be sorry for this. Don't be sorry for who you are. You got nothing to be sorry about. I had to look into like a therapist. I needed someone to talk to, and I got some help, and it's an ongoing thing. It doesn't like go away with just a few visits or a few chats. It is a lifelong thing. No one will understand firsthand what it is that you go through. People have tried to understand me. As lovely as people are, especially my friends who try to understand, no one understands, and that's okay, and I do not blame them. But that video also did bring me so many wonderful things, and I will always be aware of that. It brought me to lovely people who I'm still are friends with till this day. It gave me the career that I'm so lucky and blessed to have now, and it's still only blossoming and growing. If I was any younger, I definitely feel like I would have exploded. I would have not handled it the way that I did. I often think about that sometimes. Another part of that video that was also a thing that I noticed, it reached a lot of the Asian community, the Asian American community. At the time, I remember a lot of young folk make comments. These comments, most of these hurtful and really mean things would come from this particular group of people who looked like me, and were ashamed of me, and were so disowning of me, like, oh, like this is not the representation we want. We don't own him. And sadly, in my own journey as an Asian American, I grew up never really feeling like I belonged to the Asian folk. And I've always felt so out of place. face. I wanted to be more Asian than I already am, just to prove to people that I was Asian when I was younger. And I look back at those moments, I'm like, you were so silly. At a certain point, you get older and you just realize that, like, you know what, it's okay. This is the Asian American that I am. I'm not gonna have all these experiences like every other person from my community that looks like me would have, you know? And that's okay. And that took me a long time in my own personal journey. Before all this social media stuff, that took me a long time to come to terms with. I'm gonna be honest, I never really paid too much attention to my culture or heritage. Not that I didn't respect it, I was aware of it, but I went on my life just trying to be a good person, trying to put my best foot forward as Stephen Vo. That came first. Then, obviously, this cute ass face, right? I'm a handsome ass sexy Vietnamese man. It wasn't until I started doing this social media stuff that I realized the power in which your face, your background brings to the masses. And so I started doing my best to put myself into my own heritage, learning more, you know, like I trying to embrace it, but also at the same time trying to tell folks and educate folks that, like, I am doing my best to embrace and learn more about my culture and my heritage, but I am also my own version of my culture and heritage. I grew up differently from so many folks, as other folks have grew up so differently. Someone who was way more closer to their heritage that looks like me, I can't understand their upbringing. I can't understand, like, all the trials and things that they've been through. I recognize it though. I do my best to understand it. And that is something that I had to work on personally and in myself over the years before even any of this. So when the social media stuff came along, I did my best to be, you know, to be a good example, to let folks that know that, like, yeah, I'm Vietnamese, and here's my version of it. Here is my upbringing. Here are my lessons. Here are the things that I, from my own experiences, that I can offer. Obviously, it did reach people. I remember there was a person who I met at Head in the Clouds last year that I was invited to. This Vietnamese girl came up to me and she was like, oh my God. She was so excited to see me, you know, so lovely. And she was just like, hey, like, thank you so much for doing what you do and representing our people. That was the first time I ever heard that in the past, like, 2 years that I was doing this shit. I'm like, what? You know? After all that I had been through, feeling like I was rejected by the Asian community, to hear from this young girl saying that, like, that brought me so much love and joy to hear. And I was just like, you're doing okay, you're good, keep going. It's gonna reach someone. Because the message that I feel like I've always done my very best to give and put into the world was, do your thing. Keep treading on. If you have something to say, if you have something you want to give into the world, like a bit of happiness in one way or another, keep going. It's gonna reach someone. It will always reach someone. That first drink of the day video, like, it reached the Asian community. And in my own experience, none of them liked me. And I hate to put a whole people into a box. And obviously, I don't think that. It was just a small amount of people, I feel like, in the grand scheme of things. When I was living it, it just felt like my own people. People who look like me don't even like me. One video after another, people just clowning on me, mocking me, and trying to tell me who I was from this 15-second video. And I've seen worse things on TikTok. That video, the first drink of the day video, definitely brought me a lot of lovely people into my life. Surprisingly, some of the people that I met through that video, who are my friends till this day, like, some of them clowned on me in the beginning, you know? But they were funny. What? They were funny, so I was just like, wow, you're cool, you know? I met one person, and it was our first time meeting, and he was all like, you were just trolling, weren't you, in that video? I said it then, and I'll say it now, I wasn't. That's just me, baby. That's who I am. Whether it's all of me or just a little part of me, that's me. I think we're so used to negativity and hearing negative news that when we see a bit of goodness in this world, or someone trying to be good, or just positivity, I feel like it's so far out there. It's so out of reach. It's so like foreign. We can't believe it. We always have to take it with a grain of salt. And maybe I am a weirdo. Maybe I am cringe. I don't know. Sometimes I wish I can like see myself from a third person point of view. But like, I live this shit, man. I live my life, and I know damn well I ain't a bad person. I know damn well that like I always mean well. Speaking of head in the clouds, you know, I'm not one to go out a lot. I don't like festivals. I don't like going to concerts. I like quiet stuff, you know? It was a lovely opportunity, and I went, and I obviously knew that it was going to be filled with lots of Asian folk. And I knew deep down that like I'm probably gonna run into people who recognize me and know me. And this was like a year later after that video. So some time had passed by, and my career wasn't as poppin' as it was in the beginning at that point. And so, you know, I'm like, oh, maybe like, you know, not a lot of people recognize me. Surprisingly, a lot of people recognized me. I put up a vlog about it. It was so lovely meeting everyone, and I will always be so thankful. Most of the people that recognized me knew me from that First Drink of the Day video. Everyone was so nice, but there were moments I could just feel in the air that people were staring and people were judging. There was one specific moment. We were at the main stage. I was with my girlfriend, and we were like near the front, and I think BB was about to come on, and I was so excited, you know? I was getting tired though, so I was a little like, you know, low energy. Someone behind me just blurted out that catchphrase, first drink of the day, baby. What sounded to my ears sounded like he was mocking me. And whether it's just because I am just like that now after all this time, where when I hear that phrase and people like, you know, blurt it out in front of me, even jokingly, I take it very like, oh, like they're making fun of me. When I heard that, when I was standing there and I heard that, like I paid it no mind. I froze. I was hit with so much anxiety. I turned to my girlfriend and I was just like, you know, like baby, like someone just mocked me right now, and I don't feel good. I'm already low energy. I'm triggered. I got so sad and quiet all of a sudden, and I just wanted to fucking hide. That person never came up, by the way. Maybe it would have been better if they came up after saying like, hey, like I know you. Like I don't get recognized a lot. I know that there might be a chance if I go to more Asian prominent areas, but on the rare occasion that it does happen, people come up and they're like, most people are so lovely. Some people shake. I've done little meet and greets, you know, that I've been so down and happy to do. Like I love doing them because I love meeting you guys. I love meeting my followers. Like let me like say thank you, give you a hug. You know what I mean? And I eat it up. I love the attention, by the way. Can I just say that real quick? I love the attention. I love what I do. I keep doing it because I love like the attention and I love what I do. You know, obviously there's more to it, but like I'm not shy of it, right? So me acting a certain way where I get nervous or scared or anxious, like that's rare. I'm a very sensitive and soft guy. I don't have thick skin. I don't. I'm older now, so I can manage my feelings a lot better, you know. I can brush things off a little bit easier, but I'm not someone who's gonna pick a fight. That's not who I am. I just get sad. I get very sad. That first drink of the day video, I wanted to talk about it after all these years because I feel like I am in a good place mentally. And although in the grand scheme of my whole life and in my career, it plays such a tiny small part, right? It's not the only thing that I am known for. I acknowledge it and will always love it for what it was to my life. It might sound like such a small little thing to some of you guys, but this is a part of my life. That video, whether I like it or not, is a part of my story. It's a part of my career. From where I started, from where I'm going, from where I am now, like that will always be there. And I thought it was very important to acknowledge it, to at least talk about it once. You know, if you listened all the way, thank you so much for your time. I hope it gives you a more understanding of who I am. And for those of you who do deal with bullying or feel like the world is against you, I hope that you know that everything passes. You are sad one day, and I know eventually you will be happy again. And then eventually you're gonna be sad again, but you do your best to pick yourself up and learn to better yourself so that you can get out of it quickly and keep treading on. I promise, good days are on the horizon. Good days are coming. My name is Stephen Vo. I am the first drink of the day guy, and I'm gonna be here for a long time, doing what I love, spreading some good in the world. I'm not done yet. As I always say, we're doing great things. We're gonna be doing big things. You just watch. And this one's to you, darling. Woo! Yeah, baby.